He sat at one corner of the bar, in the pale pink glow of a neon light in the window advertising beer. Not much of an angle to view the television. Just a long, narrow room before him, just a stretch of the bar, a skyline of backlit bottles glowing amber or emerald, all of them waiting and beautiful. He was nervous as he could recall feeling in years, maybe decades. He'd have to reach back into his memory all the way to middle school or high school, to some time in his life when he still cared, really cared what people thought of him. When he still cared about grades and teachers, about his parents' approval. He landed on it now and knew he hadn't felt this nervous since he was a boy. Or maybe just a bit later, as a teenager, when he started to notice girls. When he started to care if a girl found him attractive or witty enough to talk to. Funny, though. Now it wasn't a girl, but a woman. A 64-year-old woman. God, he was nervous. He wanted to light a cigarette, but that would mean leaving his place at the bar, and it was cold outside. Cold and drizzling. The neon smudged across the slick of the sidewalk, raindrops dripping down the windows of nearby cars. The smoke of recently discarded cigarettes curled out of the tall plastic outdoor ashtray and lent the scene a kind of dreaminess. He hadn't imagined returning to this town, this little town, but here he was. Sitting at the rail of the Tomahawk Room, on Bridge Street in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. It was only the first day of October, but it felt like winter wanted to arrive early. Like winter was standing on the porch, uninvited, banging loudly on the screen door with one fist, a bottle of whiskey all wrapped in a brown paper bag clenched in the other hand. He didn't like that persistent, oncoming cold. He didn't care for winter as much these days. It seemed to sink through his clothes, past his skin, and settle right into his bones. But this was Wisconsin. He'd have to toughen up, buy some warmer clothes. He remembered growing up here, all those early autumn softball games he'd played without so much as shirt sleeves. All those football games he'd played in winter without even a jacket, his hands pink and raw with the sting of snow and wind. And how, as a kid on a dare, he'd peel off his clothes right down to his socks and underwear, then fall into the soft new snow to make the shape of a fallen angel. He couldn't do that anymore, he thought. It would kill him, would seize his heart right up, that kind of cold.